India strongly objected to Pakistan raising the Kashmir issue at a United Nations forum, sharply criticizing Islamabad for what it called repeated attempts to politicize international platforms. Well, the exchange took place during an area formula meeting of the United Nations Security Council in New York, where India's permanent representative to the UN, Ambassador Harish, responded firmly to remarks made by Pakistan's envoy Asim Iftikhar Ahmed. During the discussion, Pakistan once again raised the Kashmir issue, a subject that it frequently brings up at the global forums. In response, India accused Islamabad of misusing the platform and attempting to divert the attention from the main agenda of the meeting, which focused on broader questions related to international peace, security, and the implementation of UN Security Council resolutions. Ambassador Harish, while delivering India's statement, strongly criticized the Pakistani intervention and also questioned the conduct of the co-chair of the meeting, stating that the forum had been politicized in an inappropriate manner. He reiterated India's long-standing position that Jammu and Kashmir is an integral and internal matter of India. Harish said that the Union territory of Jammu and Kashmir always has been, is and will remain a matter strictly internal to India, rejecting any attempt to internationalize the issue. His remarks came in direct response to Pakistan's comments, which New Delhi described as unwarranted and irrelevant to the agenda of the discussion. India's envoy also used the opportunity to highlight the broader theme of the meeting, which was titled Bridging the Implementation Gap, UNSC Resolutions and Maintenance of International Peace and Security. He pointed out that while member states are currently engaged in reviewing mandate implementation under the UN-80 framework to improve efficiency within the United Nations system, there is no justification for excluding Security Council mandates from such a review process. And according to Harish, all the UN mechanisms must be periodically assessed in order to ensure that they remain relevant in changing global circumstances. He argued that mediation frameworks established under Chapter 6 of the UN Charter, which deal with peaceful dispute resolution, are not meant to be permanent and should be reviewed in line with evolving realities. He also suggested that Security Council mandates should not be treated differently from the General Assembly mandates when it comes to efficiency reforms under the UN-80 initiative. The Indian envoy further distinguished between Chapter 6 and Chapter 7 of the UN Charter, explaining that Chapter 6 relates to peaceful settlement of disputes, while Chapter 7 deals with enforcement measures in cases of threats to peace, breaches of peace, or the acts of aggression. He emphasized that mediation mechanisms under Chapter 6 should not be misused or interpreted in a way that allows outdated frameworks to continue indefinitely without reassessment. However, much of India's intervention focused on responding to Pakistan's repeated references to Jammu and Kashmir. Harish described all these remarks as an attempt to politicize a technical forum and reiterated that India's position on the issue is consistent and non-negotiable. He emphasized that the inclusion of such references by Pakistan was inappropriate and detracted from the purpose of the meeting. The diplomatic exchange comes amid continued friction between India and Pakistan at international platforms, where Islamabad has repeatedly raised the Kashmir issue, while New Delhi has consistently maintained that it is an internal matter with no scope for external discussion. India has long rejected any internationalization of the issue, asserting that Jammu and Kashmir is fully integrated into the Indian Union. The strong response from India at the UN Security Council forum reflects its broader diplomatic stance of countering Pakistan's narrative at the global institutions. And at the same time, India used the opportunity to push for reforms in UN mechanisms, arguing that outdated frameworks must be reviewed in order to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of the global body. The exchange once again highlights the persistent tensions between the two neighboring countries, even as multilateral platforms continue to serve as stages for their diplomatic disagreements. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.